All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Living Freestyle Game Dev live stream. My name's Kevin. We do this twice a week right now, Sunday nights and Wednesday mornings. And we work this kind of like a Q&A office hours. We're talking about game dev. We're talking about Unreal Engine, Maya front end stuff, all that kind of things, all those kinds of things. I do get to work in game dev professionally, lucky enough to do that. Currently work in R&D at Riot Games. And it means I do a lot of stuff in blueprints and front end character stuff and everything at work, but there's a lot of cool stuff I don't get to do. So in the absence of any questions, anything that we can stumble through together, I am working on my own prototype game. One, because I have my own ideas, but two, also it gives me a chance to work on stuff that helps me better understand other disciplines and so on. I look back through, I didn't see any questions in any of the previous chats, and I also don't see any questions in the current chat. So we're just going to hop right back in and get started on continuing where we left off, which was in, we were working on shields, if you recall. So today we're working on shields and actually playing our encounter, which is kind of fun. So it looks like we're a little bit better set up today. I think all of our stuff is already there. Don't know what that's all about, but I was able to go ahead and get the shield stuff fixed. Literally all it was I misspelled something. Super awesome. Also, for those that are hopping in, sometimes we hear the Twitch stream doesn't go as well. I think it's because they have a bit limit on their bit rates. So let's see here. Sometimes we hear that Twitch isn't super clear. Check out YouTube. Check out YouTube if you need to. Okay. Now, so as I was saying, it was a misspelling. So we got our shields working. Now, working is, relative terms. So let's take a look at a couple of things. First off, we kind of need to have a conversation about how shielding is going to work in this game, because basically the idea of having a shield bar doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you have the potential to have different size of shields. So maybe you have an item that blocks everything, makes you immune. That actually might be a good way to do. Oh, actually, that might be a really good way to do a shield that basically blocks everything, now that I think about it. Anyways, that would be an item. We would make an item that grants gameplay ability that grants, it grants a gameplay ability of immunity when you have it. When it gets destroyed, it takes it away. That's a cool way to do that. But for the rest of the stuff, if you pick up a shield and then you pick up more shield and more shield, the idea of having a bar starts to not make sense. So I made an icon. So we made a shield icon, and completely funky style, not gonna fit in with everything else, but we're not worried about that right now. Honestly, I probably spent way too much time trying to make this work. I was working on a material that would allow you to change the colors of this icon. So let me show you what I'm talking about for that. And that honestly did not work out for, I think, a couple reasons. But basically, if we take a look at our texture here, start previewing here, you can see we have our green texture. Now originally this was not green, this was just completely grayscale. And what happened was, in fact we can desaturate it so I can show you more what this looked like temporary. So we'll desaturate that and we'll take a look at that, start previewing. So this is more of what this looked like. And my thinking was that I would multiply in green to red so that it would, as your shield started going down, depending on the velocity at which it was going down, it might turn red. It's so far beyond what we need for a working prototype, but like I said, sometimes you get distracted with this stuff. because it's kind of cool. So basically I was taking this object and I had a mask for it. So here's what the mask looks like. And my thinking was that what I would do is I'd multiply the mask by a color. So if we start previewing this node, right now that's red. If we wanted to, we could multiply it by green. And then I would take and I would subtract the mask off of our grayscale. So you can see it kind of took away a little bit of that color. And then once I subtracted that off, I would take the color I created and add it back in. Which, you know, it doesn't not work, but the problem is it doesn't quite have the green glow or anything like that I would like it to have. And so I monkeyed with this quite a bit. I think if we multiply this, if we start previewing this, if we multiply this by 2, 4, 5, that's kind of, let's try 10. Okay, that's a little bit better. And then if we clamp it, do all those things, you'll see it's definitely better, but it's just not working as seamless as I want. So I just need better masks. I think I just need better masks for this, but I'm not gonna monkey with it because again, I got really sidetracked with this shield thing, but I just wanted to show you what I was doing. And the idea here would be that, you know, you could change it to any color you wanted. Oh, this is lerping. This is lerping between red and green. Okay, so ultimately, in an effort to stay on track, I basically just went through and updated the UI to have a shield at the bottom with a number, because I think that makes more sense for what you're going to do overall. And you know, UI, everything, nothing's cohesive, nothing matches, but I think it will get the job done. When we play, you can see I have a shield now down here in the bottom. It's clear, I can read it. We could probably pop the font a little bit more. And if I, now this is the next bit. If I stand on this shield, you'll see that it's going up, right? We're basically adding 50 shield each time. So maybe what we do is we cap it at 1,000. We'll have to think about that. So 2 quick changes. Let's make that number pop a little bit more. Currently font face, that's our tint. Common text. Ah, I see. It's transparent. That'll just make that pop a little bit more. We can compile and save that. We can check out our health bar now, which is cool because again, I'm so stoked that I set up the version control, because if I end up ultimately not liking this, I can always go back. All right, so let's pop that. Now, let's talk a little bit about what what this dude does. Basically, this is a gameplay effect pad, and it has a gameplay effect to apply. And in this case, we're applying the gameplay effect pad shield. When we look at this, the gameplay effect shield is literally the stuff that we were working on before. We're adding shields, we're using a curve table. The duration of this is infinite, and it's adding 50 each time, and each time is determined by this period up here, right in the period right now. So every second it's going to add 50 shield. Now, one thing that I'm wondering though is, does this infinite matter? So I want to just try something here real quick. We have 50. If we walk over, yeah, I don't think infinite matters in this case. Oh, it does matter. Here's why. Because it won't keep ticking, basically. Interesting. Okay, so the gameplay effect, we need to keep that as infinite so that the period actually happens. All right, that makes sense. Now, the one thing that I wanted to check was, we can compile and save that again. If we take a look at this pad, I was curious. The other change that I made was I added the shield so that we could get shield font, so that depending on whether the game pad shows heal or shield, it will do one versus the other. Mary, I appreciate that, but no thank you. So let's see here. So that's gonna do the shield. And then once we get the shield, now, so let's see here. What I was looking for what happens when we walk off the shield. So remove gameplay effects on end overlap. That's why it works. I see. So when we begin overlap, we're applying the gameplay effect, which is infinite for the time we're standing there. And then when we leave, it goes ahead and removes it. But the shield value is already granted, so it's gonna stay there over time. Okay, that's cool. All right, so we have shield. Now that's kind of gets us back to where we wanted to be, and we can continue on our quest to try to beat our level, which, by the way, is impossible. So I've got my controller, and just to kind of show you what I'm talking about, as far as we're gonna need some work. I'm gonna grant myself 1,000 shield. So let's do this. Let's bring the chat back up. Oh, I can't see it because I've got too much going on with this stuff. There we go. All right, so we're gonna grant ourselves. Oh, we can get rid of that print statement too. We don't need that anymore. And I'm starting with a sword. That's the jump. That's the swing. All right, so even with 950, we'll go one more. Even with 1,000 shield. Let's see if we can beat this first wave of characters. Okay, so we've got, some sword people. Whoa, why are there so many of them? Uh-oh. Oh no. Ah. 2, 4. I got through 6 of them. Bring our shield back. Here they come. All right, we'll just go to 800. I also want to show you something else. For some reason, when I stand on this shield, they can't see me anymore. Oh, I'm running out of ammo. I have 8 shots left. And she didn't drop any ammo. Oh. And now I'm gonna spawn with them standing on top of me. make for the shield. So when I stand here, I don't know what it is about it. It's like I'm no longer visible to them. The minute I step off, they start shooting. So it's kind of interesting. I'd love to figure out what it is that does that. Man, they're good. Whew. I've died, what, 3 times now? 4 times now? They're too good. They're too good, and they're very difficult to kill. What was the melee button for me? Oh, interesting. That's the melee button. Okay, right bumper. Oh, jeez Louise. Toast. So, we have some work to do. And that is... Oh my goodness. This is way too hard. There's a power scale difference. So there's a couple things. First off, I can't hit her with the sword, which is interesting. Also, if I have the sword equipped and I walk over a gun, it auto equips it. It's kind of not what I want. We need to get the sword to be able to go with the angle that we're looking. That's another one. And it's just way too hard for what we have going on. So there's a couple things we can do to do this. And I don't necessarily think this is gonna take some tuning. So we have a bunch of dials. 1, we could make the enemies have less health. 2, we could have less enemies. 3, we could obviously make their shot like not nearly as accurate. We could do that. We could give ourselves more health, or our shots count for more. These are all the different things that we can that we have available to us. So we just need to find a good starting point. I'm thinking about the number of enemies. Let's see what this feels like if we go down to 3. 3 and 3 for a total of 6. I still think even that's going to be difficult. Spawn point 10. Let's make it 2. 2 warriors and 3 defenders. We'll go 3 there. All right, and then we start with a 100 shield. We'll start with 200 shield this time. All right, that's 50, 60, 200 shield. All right, and we've started with a pistol. Some of it's also I'm just not good at my game yet. Because what? We haven't even played it. We haven't even started playing. Oh, dude, I didn't even see. She snuck up on me. All right, here we go again. 200 shield. I wish I had a grenade right now. Okay, that's a problem. I was shooting her in the head, and she did not. Oh, headshots. That's what we need to implement. Back away. That she's got a sword. Keep backing. Oh, she didn't drop her sword? Wait, why didn't the sword drop? Oh no. I have no ammo. And the sword didn't drop. That's no bueno. Ah, they got me. 2. Even with 3, this game's tough. This will be my 3rd life. If we're even gonna use lives. Alright, they just saw me. Maybe not. Can I get over there? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, I got her. Oh, no, no. No, no, no. There's 4 of them. Oh, jeez Louise. I've got no health left. Ah, toast. Okay, so I just failed my first level. I mean, that was a little better if we're going with 3 lives. Now, if we have a sword, though, does this make this trivial? Oops, I gave myself 50 more shield than I should have. Oh, and somebody left a shotgun here for me. Switch back to our sword. They're all defending the spawn point. We've got to change our ammos. There's 3 of them. Yeah. Whoa. So they're backing up. All right, I passed the first wave. Woohoo! It only took 3 lives and a whole lot of shield. I have no shields left. It's interesting. If we switch to the shotgun, we reload it. It looks like we can only carry 24 rounds of shotgun right now. But there's all these shotguns on the ground. There's no way we're gonna get across this. This is the second wave. Where are they? I also still have a timer up there. Oh, 2 swords. Where's that guy going? That's a problem. I mean, I don't mind. Alright. That seemed a little unfair. Like, where's this guy going? Completely just ignore me. Huh. That was the 3rd spawn point, I guess. Where is this guy going? This dude is in... Move goal. B test pickup 3 is the objective. Oh, you know what? He's going to pick up a shotgun. He ran all that way to pick up. Okay, we got a couple fixes. This is cool though, we're making progress. All right, so first off, when we spawn, okay, there's a couple things we need to do. Unbar BT. Enemy patrol. When we find a weapon, Find a weapon, then we set this as our move too. If we're taking damage, I feel like we need to fight, not patrol. So, how do we do this? If we, oh, that's what we could do. Hold on a second. If we're taking damage, what happens in our fight tree? Do we ever go look for weapons in here? We do. Target enemy is set. And we're out of ammo. We are gonna find a weapon location. We're gonna move to it and we're gonna find one and wait. So basically, if... Oh, interesting. If they spawn with a sword, are they technically out of ammo? Is that what's happening here? Do we have ammo? Loadout check. What does this do? So our positions, we're going through our inventory. Wait a minute. Check for a new weapon. That's weapon locations. We're getting all the test pickups, adding that to our weapon locations. Min distance. For each of the weapon locations, we're basically checking to see if the control pawn distance is less than our min distance, and then we're basically setting the weapon actor. And then we said that we're setting that as our objective. Interesting. So what's happening is when we spawn in, we're setting our move to location if the objective actor is valid. We're setting weapon found. And we're going to it. Okay. Otherwise, weapon found is false. And we're not doing anything. It's a long ways to go for a weapon. 10,000 units. I think it's reasonable to knock this back, but I still think we should figure out the logic here before we fix that. So what's going to happen is, do we have ammo? Out of ammo. Where do we set this? In our shoot task. Here's our should fight deck. Ah, okay. So inside should fight, we are... Oh, that's where we're checking out of ammo. This is getting. That's attacking. Yeah, but where do we set it? Oh, here we go. This is in shoot. If we have more weapons, it's true. We're not doing it. If we don't have more weapons, we're setting it out of ammo. Okay. Why does it get the current weapon? If the cast fails to cast to a weapon instance. Dude, Scott, long time no see. I am doing well. Sorry, there's a delay in the chats. I was thinking about you. I gotta give you a call to catch up. Thanks for hopping in, dude. Okay, so basically we're gonna cast this to, we're out of ammo. And then we're gonna check, we're going to check to see if we have a magless weapon. And if we do, we are going to set that we can shoot. That's where our problem is. Yeah, I'll give you a ring. When's good? This is the problem. So we're setting that we can shoot, but we're also setting that we're out of ammo. And out of ammo is what we're using to determine whether or not we're gonna go look for weapons. So we need to think about this. Because if we look at, this is where we check our ammo. We do that every so often. Every second, it looks like. Finding our weapons if we're out of ammo, but if we have a sword, we're still gonna go pick up that thing. It's kind of weird. So our out of ammo is going to be true here, and as a result of that, what's going to happen is we're going to come into here, and we're basically going to go to whatever weapon within 10,000 units, which is why they were just blindly running. We need to be careful with this. This is the kind of stuff that if we change this, it could dramatically affect the way the AI thinks. First things first, we're in patrol because we haven't found a target yet. And I think that's a good thing to do. Okay. Let's do this. Let's change it. Okay. Let's change it so everybody spawns with swords. So we'll go shooter mannequin. Shooter mannequin. We're going to change our default weapons to be... Oh wait, maybe that's on the controller? Okay, that sounds good, I'll do that. So let's take a look at our sword. That's the ability set ID sword. This is probably the one we want to look at. Let's take a look at our reference viewer. Yes, this is referenced in shooter mannequin. So we were in the right place, we just need to find it. Let's bring this back. Finding our results, sword. Here we go, initial inventory items. We have a variable over here. Initial inventory items. Find references. Oh, whoa, what? initial inventory single select. I see. So we must have single select as true. Yeah, okay. So we put in logic here so that everybody starts with a single weapon, or it basically could give everybody the full set of initial inventory items. Okay, I like that logic. We may still use that, so I'm not going to change that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to disconnect this temporarily, and we'll just go with the sword here. Okay, so now everybody's going to spawn with swords. This will force that first group of people into a situation where they're spawning with swords, but now we need one more thing for our test. We need a pickup. I do not believe we have any pickups in here right now. Okay, so let's grab one. Pickup. Okay, that's too close to them because I need to see them running. So we'll put a weapons pickup right here. And what this is going to do is it's going to recreate not necessarily the bug, but the undesired behavior that we're getting. And so if we take this weapon pickup and we change it so that it's spawning, I believe it's under instances, stack count, and let's do a pistol. All right, what should happen is, even though they have swords, they're going to just start running to that gun. We have our 200 health. Let me see. Yeah, so they're just running there. Now, if I step out, I would like them to stop running. I'm gonna die. So he's fighting me. He's got a sword. Okay, so this is perfect. Now he was in the fight tree. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we've definitely confirmed our problem. This game is very twitchy so far, but that's okay. Okay, so that definitely confirms our problem. That recreates it. Now what we want to do, let's do something here. Get controller. Let's give myself a gun. So we're going to temporarily up here, we're going to cast this to a HWZ AI controller. All right, and then whether that passes or fails, we want to make sure we still go back in. Okay, and if it does succeed, not only are we going to give ourselves a sword, but we're also going to give ourselves a pistol. I guess a rifle would be fine too. So here, so now basically, wait, this is the opposite. If it's an AI controller, it's false. This is what we want. So this is going to be give player extra goodies. All right, now, when we do that, this should be the same thing before, but I should, that did not work. I do not have a pistol. Interesting. Do they have pistols? Doesn't look like it. Huh. We must have messed that up somehow. Oh, we need to add it to a slot. So it's probably in my inventory. Okay, let's double check this. Let's make sure this is working. So if we look at our inventory, yeah, we have a pistol. So let's go. There we go. Okay, cool. Give ourselves some shield. That's good. Now let's go get these people to spawn. I'm going to show you the recreation that we want to do here. Alright, so they're just running. What I want to do is the minute they take damage, I can't even hit them. Ah. We gotta start again. Inventory. Interesting. We need to, oh wow, that's gonna be interesting. We also need to figure out how to use our inventory screens if we have a gamepad. Because yeah, I didn't even think of that. Oh my goodness. Cross-platform development. Here we go. So now they're spawning and they're gonna start running. I would like these characters to not keep running as I'm shooting at them because they have swords. All right, so what we need to do is, if they're taking damage, I think the easiest thing is if they're taking damage to send them to the fight tree. Is that what we want to do? Patrol. We patrol. As long as we don't have a target, is that right? So we can come through, strategize, detect enemies. Should flee. So if we have a target, that's where we go. So this is our AI perception for detecting the enemy. Interesting. If we do that, let's go down to one character to make this debugging easy. For spawn point 1, let's use one enemy. And we're going to get rid of spawn point 10's enemies. And let's go. Alright, so when we go forward here, target enemy set. Yeah, so that's not it. Because the target enemy is getting set, we're just not breaking out of this loop. Okay, so that's not it. This is why we're being methodical about this. Just changing this is not gonna necessarily solve it. So what's happening here is we come in and we are detecting the enemy, but we've already kicked into patrol. We do not want to be in patrol if we have if we have a target. I think we want to be in fight. So let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try adding a decorator. I think this is probably the safest test. Blackboard condition. Target enemy is not set. Okay. So when we start, give ourselves some shield. Wait a minute. Did he just not see me? Ah. It was like maybe they just didn't see me. Okay, so that's not aborting that loop. Why not? Because we are down here. We're basically, I believe what's happening is we're in this task. I have an idea. A couple ideas. What time is it? We're starting to run low on time. Let's make this pick up a debug one that you can't actually pick up. But she should not know that. Or the enemy won't know that when they come running at it. So they're just going to run at that. Alright, so let's see here. And I believe what should be happening if we bring up this enemy, let's see here, fight, patrol. Yeah, they're in here looking for weapons. So they got to the move 2. Once they got to the move 2, that condition was set. Now where is she? So it kicked out because she got to the move, or he got to the move 2 goal now. And then if we look at enemy, we should be fighting. And in fight, what are we doing? We're out of ammo. Okay, so we have two full problems here. Oh my goodness. So we're doing this move 2 and we're coming in here. This one's a different, it's kind of the same flavor but a different problem. Basically what's happening is does not recognize that they're out of ammo or that they have a sword because we're only using out of ammo. So we do want them to still go find weapons, potentially, but we don't want to do that when they're actually in the middle of a fight. But we do as well, because if they run out, if they get down to just a sword and there is an opportunity for a gun, we want them to go pick it up. So I think this one, we'll leave this one. This one, we're gonna solve this one at a time. We're gonna determine that this one is okay, because we do want them to do this. But what's not okay is when we're down here. Because we're basically in this move 2. And the move 2, there's no way to abort it, basically. Target enemy is not set. I wonder if we do that, if that will do this. Observe blackboard value. Interesting. So it doesn't work up here. We know that. Although it's probably reasonable to keep that there. And let's add this here as well. All right, give this a shot. Wait, you shouldn't be moving. Hold on a second. It should have failed out. Notify observer, abort self. Okay, let's try that. That's interesting. Maybe it was working up top and we just didn't have the abort set properly. Okay, so dude's running. It's going to the weapon. Sees me and aborts. But the move goal is still the same, I think. Oh, I missed it. That's what you get for trying to play your game with a Wacom tablet. Alright, here we go. Let's try this again. Okay, so... Alright, our enemy is spawned. Our behavior tree is active. Searching for objective. They're going to the objective. Now they're finding weapons. Alright, so once they found the weapon, now they see me, but when they saw me... Okay, so I think what's happening is now we're back into this other problem, which was over here in fight. I think we're in here. Okay, so let's give this another shot. So this time, we know that that's aborting now. Look at that. So that's what she's doing. We're closer, but we're still not there yet. Okay, let's, I do want to test one more thing over here. This base condition, we get rid of it, and we check this, and we abort self. Does that work just as well? So we'll do a quick test on this. Okay, first it's going to the objective. That's what's happening in the bottom right. Now it's running towards this weapon. Alright, as it runs towards this weapon, we're just gonna step out. Oh, you aborted. Okay, cool. So that did work. They aborted this side of the tree, so that keeps that cool. Alright, so now we have 3 minutes left. I do not believe we are going to solve this problem in the next 3 minutes, but we're getting closer. So now at least aborts. Let's save this. Now if we look at our fight branch though, what's happening is the way we're determining whether or not we should be going to this weapon or not, questionable. Because I feel like this should fight decorator. Let's take a look at this. Where did that go? Let's shoot. Should fight. What we're doing here is, if we are not out of ammo, hold on. Weapons found is false, but weapon found is true. In this case, we found a weapon. So that's true. So this becomes false. And we are already out of ammo. So our should fight. Wait, hold on a second. What? We are definitely out of ammo. That is true. So this becomes false. So this is true. And weapons found is true. How is this thing used? Should fight. Where is this used? Should fight. It's right here. I'm gonna put a breakpoint on this. Should fight. Alright, so we're gonna check should fight. When we come in here, our out of ammo value is true. So this is gonna be false. And weapon found is true. So that's false. So this is true. And this is false, which is false. So these should both be false. So we should not fight. In this case, it's saying we should not fight. Because we're out of ammo. So we're returning false for should fight. Because we're out of ammo and we found a weapon. But the thing is, this doesn't account for the fact that we have a sword. This is our problem. If we're out of ammo, or we have a magless weapon is really what we should be doing. I think we want this can shoot. What is this? Hold on a second. If it's magless, this is what allows us to still fight when we have a magless weapon. That's the problem. We have a hole in our logic here. So all we are doing in this is we're basically checking to see if it's a magless weapon, and if it is, we don't need ammo to shoot, but that does not help us with our condition checks to whether or not we should fight, because we need to know not if we're just out of ammo, we also need to know if we have a weapon that even uses ammo right now. So let's see here. We have out of ammo, look around, has target, squad lead, and weapons found. Okay. I'm trying to figure out if we have a magless weapon. Do we just set out of ammo to false? but that means that that character would never go pick up any items in the scene that are long range, which is not what we want. So I feel like what we actually want is we want to check what are our options here? So we have swords that this would affect. We have the melee attack on any weapon, theoretically. We'd have just a melee attack. This would not solve that problem if we got to this point and you couldn't pick up the thing and we didn't have any weapon. Would we punch? Not right now, no. That would still be a problem, but that's okay. So we have swords. Grenades, you could say that those have magless. You have a number of grenades. Basically any kinds of hand-to-hand combat weapons. So spears, 3-sectional staff. I'm just thinking 3-section staffs, all these kind of things. Those are all stuff that we could still use. Welcome, Maya. Although I'm not sure what the goal here is. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up for today. We know what the issue is. We made some progress. We're starting to figure out some of the parameters for our game. So let's just do that. Today is Wednesday. We've got our next. So we have streams next week. We have streams Sunday, and our next stream will be Sunday night at 10:15 Pacific time, and then a Wednesday. And then just as a heads up, the week after that, be taking a week off. Probably have some pre-recorded stuff for kind of that Christmas time frame. In the meantime, hopefully by Sunday, I'm going to take a look at this, and I just need to add the ability to determine whether or not we have a sword to actually be able to continue the fighting process and things like that for our enemies. Then once we have that, we can go back to kind of our first encounter balancing and getting that all up and running. So for everybody who hopped in, thanks for hopping in. As always, if you have questions, feel free to throw those in the comments. I'll take a look at those, or just hop in on the next Q&A. And I hope that everybody has a great rest of your week and an awesome weekend. And I will catch you all on the next one. Take it easy.